These guys are on their own level. I have a feeling this is going to end badly.
Hi, it's Orbal1975 and welcome to Nipsy Does Honor Mode episode 14. And I should really listen to Carmack as this was going to go badly. I should have taken the hint when I fail a persuasion check when I've got... Am I on for pluses? Let's have a look. Oh, actually it was a religion check, so I'm not going to be too critical because it's only... No, that's not that plussy. But yeah, it's still +4. I need 6. But you know, persuading the spiders to leave is part 1 of the plan. Divide and conquer was this section's plan. Side with some of the dwarves against Nier and his loyalists, and that way I've got some assistance in the fight because the fight can be quite nasty. Then meet the dwarves, then persuade the girl to give me some of the powder, then go collect the other parts of the powder. So yeah, I can blow up the rocks and have the fight with Nier and the dwarves versus, you know, me and some of the other dwarves. That was the plan. I'd even size myself up, which I think is hilarious. A giant size Nipsy is just, the proportion wise, it just looks weird. But yeah, enlargement it's a fun thing to do. And yeah, so I had this all planned out. I've done this dozens of times. The scrolling now is really easy to take out. One thing I would recommend is switching it into turn-based mode when you're ready to set off Thunderwave, because you know it is a blast after all, and you know you don't want to hit anyone that isn't your target, because that would be really bad if you hit someone that wasn't your target and started a fight with the entire place randomly just when you weren't expecting to and you hadn't set up any of your pre-existing spells or conditions, and yeah, fight all of the Drugar all at once. That would be a really bad thing to have happen. So yeah, so I talked to this guy, you know, agreed, Scry and I take that out and then move forward with the plan. If you pester the Scry and I, you can get it to follow you around the corner and do it in a nice quiet place, or you can just get some separation on the stairs, because you know, someone will see me commit the act of violence, but I can persuade my way out of trouble with the guards once. It's not a problem. It's only if I continually do naughty things that it becomes a problem. You know, it's one of the joys of being a bard is the persuasion skill at the yin yang. That's why it's probably one of the most fun characters to play. I can see why most people play as sword bard, because that is the kind of broken OP one in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm really looking forward to trying out the Fey Bard that comes out in January, because that was actually I was going to do a Fey Bard, Fey Warlock build, or do what I did for my campaign on a Wednesday night, and what I ended up doing was doing a Law Bard with Touch of Wizard, with 2 levels in Wizard. And I don't know, I mean, I think they each had their merits and that, and I think I chose the right option in the end. But it would have been 8 levels as Bard with 2 levels, 4 levels of Warlock if I'd have gone the other way. But anyway, so I waited patiently, and then I managed to blast the lady as well. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't just stop when I saw the light stairs go red, but I didn't think she was that close. Yeah, and that is it. It kicked off a massive fight with everyone. So yeah, this is not exactly what I'd planned, and initiative wise there's like 6 of them before we even get to act, which was not ideal, and yeah, people got hurt. But yeah, taking on all the dwarves was, you know, tantamount to suicidal. In fact, Shadowheart got taken over to fight on their side was also a problem. But you know, if you can't succeed, just whack Shadowheart in the back of the head and remind her which side she's on. And then action surge. You may as well put out as much damage as possible as quickly as possible, because I really need to turn the amount of activations that my enemies have round. And I mean, that guy's nearly dead already. and then Shadowheart. Yeah, look at the amount of damage I've already taken by doing this, because she's only got a bonus action. Do this and it just gives me, everyone gets Blade Ward, Bless, and some hit points, which is huge. Let's face it, it's absolutely massive. And then trying to blind, pass on the advantage, which really helps. And then, you know, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, already thinks because I cast Thunder Wave, I only get a bonus action as well. And then ultimately, it's time for Karlach to do what Karlach loves to do. It's like a barbarian's wet dream. Years ago, we were playing a D&D campaign. This is a long time ago, and I was playing a dwarf barbarian, and we were supposed to sneak in through the back door. This is, you know, the usual sort of thing. Go in the back door and attack an orc fortress. So you go in, sneak in the back door, sneak around as much as possible, clear it out as much as possible without, you know, starting a massive fight with everyone. So anyway, we get there. There's 4 player characters, and we've dragged 4 NPCs along to help us. Local villager malicious people. So not exactly the best combaters, but, you know, people that can help us. And we go out to the back door. We're like, has anyone got a key? Did anyone find a key this campaign? No. Okay. So try and pick the lock. Can't. Try a couple of times to pick the lock. Can't. So me, the barbarian, because I'm an idiot, I suggest the plan that we should go around the front of the building, shout, "Come on then if you think you're hard enough," and dare the orcs to all come out and attack us. Now, for some reason, the rest of the party went along with this plan. It was a terrible plan. And a ballista fired into the tree next to me just as after I said anything, and wobbled there, and I turned to the fortress and I went, "I'll take that as a no," raged and charged a fortress which had 60 orcs and an ogre in it. At the end of the fight, I was alive and covered in blood. I think the wizard was just crawling around with a few HP left. There was literally everything was like, you know, there was a lot of carnage, and it was awesome. And I got docked XP for it because it was my bad plan. But I argue with the DM to this day that it's not a bad plan if you look at it from the point of view of a barbarian with intelligence 8. It's probably quite a reasonable plan to an idiot. You know, he enjoyed himself. He just wanted to get everyone killed. So ultimately, you know, it didn't work out how I wanted. It probably wasn't the ideal situation, but it could have been worse. I should have listened to Karlach at the start, and yeah, I think it did okay for me. Sometimes accidentally frontally assaulting the entire place is the way to go. You know, certainly my dwarf barbarian enjoyed it, and a barbarian is built for these sort of big fights because, you know, you can literally just have fun. And now I've got the light and the reverberating cascade on the go, it gets really silly because I can, you know, really hurt people, building up stacks of the light and the reverberating cascade on them. Slight problem with things going invisible on me. That's a pain, but equally, it's really good fun having a barbarian that moves so quickly, because Longstrider on a barbarian is brutally broken. And like I say, bunging stuff at people, smacking them, that's what she does well, even when she does miss occasionally. But yeah, barbarians output a shed load of damage, and it makes them really, really useful in these big sprawling fights against lots of things, because the quicker you can take stuff down, the better. You know, I think my characters did pretty well hit point wise. You know, considering how much is coming and how much is against us, it does get fairly nasty. And yeah, I think I partially got lucky in a way, because things tend to come at us in a bit of a wave. With the woman going invisible, some of the spell casting stuff, I got lucky with a few saving throws. You know, I didn't get to have to massively hit myself too many times. I mean, the Spirit Guardians was a huge part of this plan, and managing to keep Shadowheart Spirit Guardians up as long as possible, doing a nice amount of damage, and putting that light out there that debuffs things, and being able to knock stuff down and then smack it while it's on the floor is pretty useful. All in all, I think I got away with this, and I think we did a really good job of focusing people down and killing them off to get rid of attacks. This was the annoying person that turned invisible at the back, so being able to just tie them down with someone with Sentinel and Polearm is quite handy, while Shadowheart continues to push forward to affect as many as possible with the light. I was debating here whether to split my forces or stick together, but I was like, no, as many people as possible. Bring the light to them. Take a few attacks of opportunity, but ultimately you want to light them up, get the minuses in, and Giant Nipsy. The giant size version is hilarious, but yeah, it is really useful. And I'll use that 3 casting of just to spread around some damage. What with the extra thunder damage as well, it adds to the reverberation. As you can see, they're all getting reverberated up, and that's really good for me as well. So do the extra reverberation damage. Building up and damaging the reverberation way is a really useful build, and especially when you get someone that can do a little bit of damage and everything. Spreading out magic missiles while stuff's all surrounding is great. But I don't know if I should have sent Karlach back to help Lizelle out with that back marker, but I decided to continue to bomb forward with the main force and really just put out some nasty damage. I mean, she's just brutal at this level, and because she's killing things, that's extra attacks, so that works out well. But yeah, I gotta say, I didn't see that coming, but Nipsy went down. It was my own fault, but the amount of damage that we managed to dish out in this fight, I wasn't too worried. Although we did it, I cleared it pretty well, got through it all, and the last few stragglers were just because of range, to be honest. Yeah, ensnarement is a pain in the butt, but as you can see, with all the little bits of damage she does, she's actually really effective at this point. She's not doing big hits, but she does just so many little bits of damage. And I mean, pretty much this fight is over. I've won. Shadowheart's going to do her big heal, and it really wasn't that much of a challenge, this fight. Taking on the whole place all at once was quite a surprise, to be honest. I thought it would be more difficult. I was a bit annoyed because Lizelle wasn't in this, so I was like, well, is there something else I can do about taking the attack of opportunity? I was like, well, it's probably worth the attack of opportunity to give Lizelle the healing back as well, because everyone is quite badly hurt at this point. And then looking at it, healing word on top wouldn't hurt, and with the extra healing she does and all the blade water bless and everything else, she is really, really useful. I switched her into being a life cleric because Domain of the Trickster cleric is pretty useless. There's a Death Domain cleric coming in January, which I might try and use for her. I think that could be a better match for her. But as you can see, the fight is done. I mean, we've absolutely mulled our way through this lot. There's only a couple of stragglers left. The archers that are way back, which is going to take a few rounds to get to, but ultimately they're not going to be able to do much to us in the time it takes to travel there. And I've still got plenty of healing left, but I don't know why that barbarian isn't raged at this point already. That would have helped him stay alive a lot longer, but instead he just manages to get through the temporary hit points. And this guy's going to be a pain being all the way up there, but it's just a matter of getting to him. And so I mean, look at that, 4 thunder, 6 piercing, and electrical, and poison, and caustic. It's just so handy. It's so much little bits of damage. When you add arrow together, it's a decent amount of damage. And yeah, so I'm going to say